Hello friends, Ben here for Giant Loop. I'm going to show you how you can set your Honda CB500X up for moto camping, adventure touring, and basically any kind of adventure you might want to have on this fantastic entry-level touring/adventure bike. This is a great all-around motorcycle that can be had for a fantastic price. And there's a lot of people out there touring on them, riding across the country, or just getting out and having moto camping adventures. And so while I had this one, I wanted to show you one way to set it up for moto camping adventures using our Giant Loop Go Light Touring Kit. So the Go Light Touring Kit has 3 pieces. This is the Fandango Tank Bag, this is the Great Basin Saddlebag, and here we have the Tillamook Dry Bag. And I've mounted these to the bike, and I'm going to show you how I've mounted them to the bike, but we're going to do this video a little backwards because I want to show you how they're mounted and where they're mounted, because there are some interesting, unique challenges, but it's also fun to kind of try to solve those challenges. Because our bags are so versatile, they can be made to work with almost any motorcycle, and this is a great example of it. So just really quick, the bag's on here. This is the Fandango Tank Bag. This is an 8-liter tank bag. It comes with a waterproof dry pod that you can put inside. It's mostly waterproof on its own. It's got a zipper. It's got a mesh pocket here, a zippered pocket, a mat pocket on top. It comes with a divider. It's got this elastic pocket on the outside, and it unzips quickly and easily so that you can have access to your gas tank to fill it up. You can take this thing all the way off and take it with you into a store or your hotel room. It's got a carry handle, so it's a great versatile bag. I really enjoy it. This is the Tillamook Dry Bag. This is probably my favorite piece of soft luggage. 48-liter dry bag, 100% waterproof. Comes with straps that you can convert it into a backpack. It's got entry points on both ends. It's got an air purge valve, great bag. And this is our Giant Loop Great Basin Saddlebag. This is a 68-liter saddlebag. It is the horseshoe-shaped design, no racks required. So if you want to go camping on your stock CB500X, this is the setup I'd recommend. This bike does not have racks. It has nothing actually except for a ram mount. It is otherwise 100% stock. So the Great Basin bag here just mounts to the passenger foot pegs, and then I've mounted it to the rear of the bike, and I'll show you how I did that. Designed to sit kind of upright where the passenger would sit, so any bike that's designed to carry a passenger like this 500X is a great candidate for the Great Basin bag. 68 liters of storage, more than enough to go on an overnight or a multi-day camping trip. So I'm gonna actually start at the back and work my way forward and kind of show you how I've mounted all these bags to the bike in case you've got a 500X and you want to pick up some luggage for yourself and see the best way, or at least the way that I've figured out to attach all of these bags. So let's start with the Tillamook Dry Bag. So this is actually one of the most interesting bikes I've attached a Tillamook to, mostly because I usually have a rack out here on the back that I can stick it on. This is one of the first times I've had to attach it where it just strapped to the bag and the bag supports it, and it did great. You can see it's sturdy. I can move the bike with the bag, and that's because I've got it actually attached in 5 places. So there's the 3 straps that come over the top here for the beaver tail from the Great Basin bag, and I've just run those through the webbing loops you can see here. And then I also like to double up on the sides, but there's a strap here on the end of the dry bag. That's actually the dry bag closure strap, but I always like to run it through the strap here on the Great Basin, and that's the strap that holds the Great Basin closed, because you run it through, you click it in, and then you tighten it down, and that prevents it from moving side to side or up and down at all, and it just gives you an even more stable platform. So I got the strap on that side. I'm gonna get the strap on this side, run it back through the Great Basin. So you would obviously do the opposite to put it on. And then there's just the 3 straps on the beaver tail of the Great Basin. These straps are actually just to compress and hold the bag down and hold it steady, but they're long enough, we give you enough extra slack to add another bag if you want to. The Tillamook's a great example. The Rogue bag also works back here. But I'm just gonna unbuckle these and run them back through the webbing loops. And that one, oh, and it comes right off, you see, because that's how it's attached. Gotta run these back through the webbing straps on the bottom. And this one's actually through the grab handle too, you see. And the dry bag is totally free. I'm just gonna set it on the ground over here. Yeah, it's wet, but I don't care because it's a dry bag, it's waterproof. So the Great Basin attaches to the passenger foot peg here. I've just gone all the way down to the front of this passenger foot peg mount, and that's solid, sturdy. Feel that? So it's not going anywhere. And the nice thing about these CB500X is the exhaust is well out of the way. You don't even have to worry about it. But the way I've mounted the rear of this bag, because this bike does not have a rear rack. It does have grab handles, but they're not useful in the way that a rear rack would be. That is actually the beaver tail strap that I just unclipped, but you see what I've done? I've run it down underneath the tail of the bike. So it's down underneath the tail, and I just keep it tight. It's not in the way of the tire, and I did that with both of these beaver tail straps. So underneath the tail here, and then around, and then up and clipped it on. Okay, so I actually clipped them on opposite sides of where they started. And I did that for both of them, and that gives you even more stability, and that's the trick for mounting this bag to a bike that doesn't have a rear rack. But I went farther than that. This bag comes with 3 of these straps. They're sort of optional. They come off, they're removable. So I just ran it through the top here, like this, and that buckle will hold it there. And then I went underneath the tail of the bike here, and back over to the one on the other side, and I just run it through the buckle. Like this. So it's anchored to the tail of the bike, and tightening that down like that will hold the bag down. And I just, for peace of mind, actually run this back up through the loop on the top here, just to give myself an extra little bit of grab. But that's how I attach the back of this. So the beaver tail thing I did was almost not even necessary. But I like to double and triple up where I can, because I like to know my bags aren't going anywhere. Overkill is rad. And I'll unstrap these. I'll do that on the other side. All straps are off. Bag comes right off the bike. And I had to do that to show you how I've mounted the Fandango, because I had to take the seat off to get it on there. So let me show you. You always want the strap to be underneath the wires and hoses. I actually missed 2 right there. So I will reroute that. There's a bracket down in there. It's kind of weird. So if you're not careful when you route this front strap, you're gonna get it underneath the front brake line, and you don't want that. But there's this sort of metal skeleton-y bracket down there that is easier to get your the strap around, and that'll hold it. So just be careful when you put it under there. If it feels weird like you're pinching a hose, you have it in the wrong place. But what I really want you to see is how I got this clean look on the back with the straps going down under the seat. If you don't do it this way, you're gonna have to go all the way down to here, and the strap's gonna kind of be in your way. So this is a lot cleaner. I like it a lot better. So let me take the seat off and show you where I put those straps. And really what I've done is I've gone down underneath the frame rail here. This is the frame. And then back up on the other side, and then up into the bag. I always like the return strap to be on top, because that makes it easier to run it back up through the bag. But just know that underneath the seat, there's this frame rail, and if you get it up here next to this bracket, it won't slide forward, and you can get it really tight. And both straps are like that, just on both sides, so you can see that. But the bag's solid, and the seat goes right back on, no problems. So sorry about this sort of backwards, the uninstall video. I'll call it an uninstall video, but I hope you get the idea of kind of where the straps go and sort of the different ways that you can mount these bags. But if you're looking to get out and do some motorcycle camping, some adventuring, some adventure touring, this is the luggage setup I would recommend for a CB500X. This is our Go Light touring kit. If you buy all 3 pieces, the Great Basin bag, the Tillamook bag, and the Fandango bag at the same time, from our kits page on our website, which I will link for you, you save an extra 10%. Don't forget that all of our products are backed by our limited lifetime warranty, and that all orders over $75 from giantloopmoto.com ship for free. Please consider subscribing to the channel for more fitment videos, how-tos, and other great content. And don't forget that all YouTube subscribers save 10% with promo code SUBSCRIBER. Thank you for watching. Go light, go fast, go far with Giant Loop.